I can't wait to talk about these guys. Our final 0M of Matt Harlow. Is that not one of the prettiest race cars you have ever seen?
Yes, beautiful.
Anywhere,
Beautiful.
in any division? That is a beautiful race car.
Sure is.
That black and blue, and it's a beautiful
It pops.
you know where that car is on the track. Yes, it is very, very.
It pops.
Very well done.
Missed out on that one.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Next time.
I want to ask you guys. I know Nina wasn't there, so she's kind of out of this part right here. But the doggy, I'm looking at this list, and the 42 car, the name says, and I'll show you guys here in the print, John David Duffy. See that halfway down, the number 42, D-U-F-F-I-E, Duffy. I'm up in the tower. I'm announcing, doing my thing. I'm in the race. It's a great race. I get a message. I look down. It says Mark Waggy. What's Mark texting me for, you know? I look it up, and he says D-O-O-F-E-E-A.
Dufay?
Dufay is how that is pronounced. So
sounds French.
I apologize to John David Dufay for mispronouncing. I'm looking at it going, I would not guess that is how you pronounce that, but that's how it is. He was decent. We had the 57 Orion Smith. He was fast there. James Flowers in the 04. Talk about a heartbreaker for him. Hated to see that happen. We're going to go over that. Jenny Flowers in the 22. The Flowers, they're well represented. There's three of those. There's three of them. Julia Flowers, Scott Flowers, Jenny Flowers. That family. And then, of course, we also had the 51 of Dr. Scott Lenz.
Yes.
Which lands in...
I don't care where you go this year to watch a race. I don't care what division you talk about. I'm going to nominate this right here for the race of the year. This race is kind of where it's one of those deals where I know my job as an announcer, but when a race starts shaping up and a race starts getting this good, there's that little bit of a fan that starts to come out, and you got to reel that back in. We had, in the race, in this feature, we're talking about the feature here, we had, I didn't mention Scott Bennett in the 15 car. Okay, Scott Bennett, we know, fast. So Bennett started deeper in the field. Lenz didn't start so deep. And then you had James Flowers, who I believe started on the front row. You get the lineup?
He was about mid-pack.
Was he mid-pack? Who was the front row for
outside,
the pro stocks?
Front row, we had the 04 and the 42.
04 is James Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So he started on the pole.
Okay.
And the 42 was Dufay. Okay, James Flowers got a jump on everybody, had a great start, and did he not pull away for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. We had a long green flag run. You start separating, they say the cream rises to the top, right? These drivers started coming through the pack, and they were having to work their way to get there. Then a caution comes out and bunches everybody up. Now we got a race.
It wasn't a gimme either.
No, because here's the thing. Once James Flowers broke, and I want to say he was running first or second when he broke. I think it was second.
That's what I think.
He just got past the lead, and I don't know what happened. I never did hear a final verdict on what happened.
Our pit correspondent fell down over there or something. He didn't get that news.
Oh, that 04 car. I never did hear what happened. He's just looking at me like, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, regardless, he had a great run going. He broke. Okay, that gives up another spot to some of these guys coming up. Now, once we go back to green, guys start coming through the field again, and we get a 3-car battle. We get a 3-car battle up front that was between the 15 of Scott Bennett, the 40 of Steve Borer, the B40, and the 51L of Scott Lenz. These guys, all three of them, are just, there is no mercy. hard, clean racing that had the fans just, I mean, it was amazing to watch these talented drivers do what they do. I'm not kidding when I say so far the race of the year, this is it. This is it. Then in traffic, out of turn 4, okay, Bennett, this is with probably, I want to say there was like 8 laps left, 7 or 8 laps left, when Scott Bennett, who was in a battle for the lead with Lenz and Borer, okay, Borer's leading, Lenz is doing everything in the world he can to pass him, and he's not getting it done. He is not getting it done on that B40 car. Steve Borer had the line that Scott Lenz needed, and he wasn't giving an inch. He was protecting that bottom line like he lived there. Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Remember watching this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lenz went high.
In all that mess, here comes the 15 of Scott Bennett, and he runs these guys down. Okay, now they're going through lap traffic. Okay, and they're racing for position through lap traffic. Bennett drives it to the high side. The car gets a little loose, kind of gets squirrely, comes down in traffic, creates a caution. This was the second time Bennett went to the back because he was sent to the back earlier in the race. Now there's about 8 laps left, okay, and he gets sent to the back. I thought, oh, man, this is going to be exciting watching that 15 car come from the back. Green flag comes out. Bennett right back to the high side on the hammer. These guys up front. When I say these guys, I'm talking about go back to the B40 of Steve Borer and the 51L of Scott Lenz. While Bennett's trying to run through the pack, these guys up front are door to door, side by side for the last 7 or 8 laps. And Lenz, who was kind of running that middle line, because Borer was kind of running that low groove, you know, he found something down there. And the car was, I mean, Borer's car, if you didn't know better watching how that car works, did it not look like a 4-bar? Mm-hmm. He'd come out of turn 2, and that car would race up on the back, just like a 4-bar car. These are 3-link cars. But it was like watching a 4-bar late model out of turn 2, and the car's just racing, and he is doing everything he can to hold off Lenz, and he's doing it successfully. And I'm going, oh, man. If Lenz can find something on the top, we might have a race here at the end. I mean, not that it wasn't a phenomenal race already. Side by side, 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go. Lenz down on him. Lenz to the high side, finds some traction, runs up next to him. Borer's on the bottom, gets him on the entry in turns 3, pulls him out of turn 4. Lenz runs up on him on the entry 1. Borer takes off on a turn 2, and this goes on lap after lap after lap. They get to lap traffic. They're coming through the field. White flag comes out. Everybody stands up. Because we don't know. Because the last time by it was Lenz by a nose length, and the lap before that it was Borer by a nose length.
Oh man, that sounds like a good one.
Here we go. White flag is out. Into turn 1. Borer's on the bottom. Lenz is on the high side. Takes a run at him down turn 2 into turn 3. Lap traffic is there. Lap traffic's running the middle groove. Okay. Borer to the bottom. Lenz to the high side. Out of turn 4, they come out. I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say this. I'm announcing, here they come out of turn 4. Checkered flag in the air. Your winner's going to be. And I have to look over to the scoring tower. I said, who won that race? What am I looking at?
All the way to the top.
Mm-hmm. I got it over here. I'm like, who won that race? Who won that race? And the scorer looks over at me, and she says, transponder says 51L. And I was like, I'm not kidding you when I say this. From my vantage point, it was so close. I physically could not look across the front of those cars and tell you who won.
I couldn't.
Did you get it at the stripe on video?
We'll talk about that.
Okay. I'm hoping Dave did. I haven't even looked at video
Dave
yet.
did. Dave got it.
I want a still shot of that because I'm not kidding you. Probably the closest finish I've seen in the last 10 years in a dirt race. I mean, I physically could not look across the front of those cars, and they're right there in front of me. I'm looking down on them. I could not tell who won that race.
I'm looking right down at them
pretty
too,
intense.
Oh, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Crowds going crazy, and
That's a good time right there.
And
what was
they,
cool about it? Go ahead.
And when they announced the 51, the whole crowd went crazy.
He is a fan favorite. I will tell you, I can't wait for these dudes to come back and go at it again. I mean, Borer impressed me. Scott Lenz, we know he's been very, very fast in that division. We know he's just really, really good in that division. He's really good in anything he gets. He's just a talented race car driver, period. I'll tell you right now, so is Steve Borer. He was so smooth, made all the right decisions, just got a lap traffic screwed this one up on the final turn. I think if that lap traffic wasn't where they were at that time, the 40 car probably would have won, but he had to take a tighter radius off, a tight stay in that low groove where Scott Lenz got to carry some momentum around the top. And even then, it was so close I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
What I thought was cool was what Gary said after the race comes up to the tower. When the cars pulled off, Gary, I'm going to let you take it from here. The first thing that Lenz does, he pulls off, you got to go to tech and all that good stuff.
Went to tech, pulled out of tech, went back over, went to the 40 pit, and just congratulated on how awesome of a race that was, how clean it was. He was excited.
Oh, man.
He didn't even realize that I took the cameras off the car while that was taking place.
And that's true. And this is what's funny about it was in Victory Lane, and Scott Lenz is a great interview, by the way. He was happy. The whole family, they had family from friends come out of state to watch, and he gets the win. And he's talking. He goes, I can't wait to see the footage you guys captured on the cameras. And he looks down and he goes, there's no camera there.
Oh, freaked out.
I looked at him. I said, Scott, my guy is quick. I said, that camera was off before he even knew what was going on.
He didn't even know when it happened.
He didn't. And that camera is right there next to him, literally right next to him.
We're back up.
And I just kind of laughed. I said, my guy is quick back there. I said, that camera's safe, I promise. And he's like, I thought it came off during the race. He was worried about it. But, man, that particular race for me, I mean, if every race could be like that, you'd never leave the racetrack.
No, it was exciting.
You wouldn't want to give up your seat for the next week.
It was hard for me just to watch my monitor to make sure I was
bet.
watching it.
I bet, yeah.
And following it around.
Sounds like I would forget to put my camera up.
And everybody's standing beside me and behind me looking at my monitor because it's got a little better feed, and then there's people down in the stands looking at it. And I'm going, holy crap, where do I look?
What do I keep my...
What is all this,
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's kind of hard to stay in with the leaders because they was all in that traffic.
That was...
And moving back and forth, and you're going, and, physically, I physically look up and look on the track to make sure what I'm seeing on the monitor is the same thing that's out on the track. And I'm going, where did the 51 go?
Yeah.
But yet on the monitor, there's 51. Okay, I'll stay right there. Wherever he's at, that's where I'm at,
What a race. I'm not kidding you when I say that was the best side-by-side finish I have seen in probably 10 years or close to.
Well, we talked about it for at least an hour on the drive home.
Oh, my gosh. That was racing-wise, that was the highlight of the night. That Pro Stock division is, I wish that they would bring – they had 18 cars or 20 cars, wasn't it? They had a full field.
18 or 20.
I think they had 20 sign in. And, I was thinking, wow, because, last time they showed up, I think they had 14,
I think
15.
they had 20 sign in and 18 made the main.
That might have been it. But it was a full field. But, man, what a race. And well, I can't say. I can't say what I was going to say because Gary gave us a piece of information on the way home that we –
yeah, you're not supposed to talk about
I won't be talking about that yet. I almost gave it up, and that almost
you
came out.
would have got me in deep trouble.
I would have. But it'll be interesting.
Gary knows all those secrets. Goes over in the pits.
He's a smoozer. He's
no.
smoozing.
No.
And he gets his plow cleaned over there every once in a while, too.
He does.
For no reason at all.
That was – I'm just going to say that was out of line.
Yeah, and people's not going to know what we're talking about.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I'll say it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what particular incident, but this is the thing. When you go to a racetrack and you wear a shirt like we wear that says
you're
Moxie
automatically
Promotion,
assumed you're an official.
That's what
it's happened to me.
Teams assume it. Oh, it's happened to me. I've had people yell at me about it. I'm not a flagman. I'm not an official. I'm just here. I
Yeah.
have nothing to do with any decisions that are made. Neither does anybody on my team.
That's